Hi, welcome back to another episode of Justlivin Designs podcast. My name is Shannon, Justlivin Designs. This is episode number 39. I'm recording it a day early, so it's Wednesday, April 23rd, about 10:30 in the morning, because I'm coming down with a cold and I'm already not starting to feel the best. So tomorrow, when I normally would record, I would feel even worse. So it's like, I'm just gonna record early. It will still come out on Friday, normal time, just a day early on the recording. I got warm setting everything up, but I've been chilly with the cold, so I'll probably get cold again. Thanks to the kid and the husband for passing on their germies. Let's see. So today I have, this is my podcast where I talk about everything that I'm making. It's usually knitting, sometimes crocheting. I am an independent knitwear designer. Some of the projects that I work on, I will reknit my own patterns, but I also knit a lot of other people's patterns, and I like to showcase everything that I'm working on, not just my own things. I like to showcase the yarns and the bag makers and the charm makers and all those things. So that's why I have this podcast. But today I also have a new design release. My testers just finished up with it yesterday on Tuesday, and I'm probably going to actually release it. It will be out by the time this episode airs. I'm just putting the last few finishing touches to the pattern so it looks nice and neat before it goes out to everybody. So we'll talk about that. Everything I do talk about, I'll have a link down below in the description box. Either websites to go to where the makers are, or my project pages on Ravelry, or my design page on Ravelry, like for what I'm wearing, which is one of my designs. All right, let's see. What else is there for the opening stuff? I think that's everything. You can find everything about me down below. I have it at the top of the page on when you click more down below, so you can find everything about me, anything else you want to find out down there. Okay, let's get into this. First, we're going to talk about what I'm wearing just to get it off the bat. So this is my Winter Nights cardigan. It's the second one I made. It is just a drop shoulder, contiguously knit cardigan with twisted rib detailing, and it's all knit at the same time. And then it does have pockets, and because I love a good pocket in a cardigan. This is the second one I made. This was size 2. There are 9 sizes. It's meant to be oversized. This one has when I made it, it's probably closer to, when I made it, it had 8 inches of, or 8 inches of positive ease. Now it's probably closer to 7. And then my other one that I originally made had 12, which is probably closer to 11 now. It's meant to be oversized, but it's a nice cardigan. I'll have the project page for it linked down below so you guys can find the yarn and everything that I used for this one. All right. First off, new design. So this is a DK weight sock that I designed. So I got the Woolens and Nosh Mystery Naughty or Nice Christmas Eve cast on set, or not Woolens and Nosh, sorry, Woolberry Fiber Co. And so you weren't sure if you're going to be on the naughty list or in the nice list. Well, I was on the nice list. The colorway was called You're on the nice list, I think. And then it came with a pretty red. And my daughter loves DK weight socks, and she wanted cable socks. And so I decided just to design her a pair of cabled socks. So the other side is completely blank. There's only a cable that runs up. This will be like the outside of the foot. So you have a right sock and a left sock in the pattern. And it's knit top down with a heel flap and gusset. DK weight with a lovely cable. And it's called orb socks, because these make little orbs. I was thinking, since it was Christmas like yarn, I was like looking for like a round design for my cable for like baubles, so it could be Christmas baubles, but it's just a lovely cable. It doesn't have to be Christmassy. But yeah, I mean, it's out of DK weight sock season, so she didn't get her socks right away because I decided to design with it, but she'll have them nice for next year. So that's my new design, is the orb socks. And I, like I said, usually I have a coupon code. I will have it listed down below with the link to the actual pattern. It's generally 15% off for the first week. So I will have that listed below if you would like a little coupon code and to get the orb socks. But yeah, my testers really enjoyed it. It's one of those like fairly easy to memorize cables. And there, I do have tutorial links within the pattern for cast on, bind off, and then also how to do a cable without a cable needle that are all on my YouTube channel. But the links to them directly are in the pattern too, so it's easy for you to find them. So yeah, that's the first. It's the new design. It's only my second design release for the year, which is kind of slow for me, but I have a few more. I have another one that I need to get out to testers here shortly, and then another one that I need to write up, and then another one that I sketched out the plans for that I need to start knitting. So I've always got stuff going in the background. I'm drinking some mint tea this morning. Helps with my throat. All right, what else? All right, finished objects. I did finish my daughter's second pair of birthday socks. Her birthday was this last week. She hasn't worn these yet, so I stole them back so I could show them to you guys. So they're nice and washed and blocked and everything, but these are the opal socks. And they're not matching, and it was just leftover opal yarn, and then I used a contrast leftover sock yarn from Farmer's Daughter Club that I had from years ago. And she loves them. They're crazy, and the crazier the better for her for socks. So she was very happy and pleased with these. And like I said, opal is a strong sock yarn. It wears like bullets compared to some of the other ones, so they'll last her a nice long time. Finished those. I'll do one more pair of socks before I show the other finished object. I just finished these. Was that yesterday? I think so. Did I have these even cast on last time? I'm gonna sneak back and look. I did. Okay, so I had them cast on last time, so you guys saw these. But I got busy with other stuff and then just finished them yesterday. We had family visiting over Easter, and I didn't knit very much when they were here, which is, you know, I'm trying to be the good hostess, so I don't knit as well. But yeah, this is Uptown Funk. It is, I knit these ones toe up. It is a sock pattern that's written both top down, toe up. Has a fun little detailing for the cuff. It has a shadow wrap heel, wide rib. You can make them taller or shorter. I updated the pattern when I was working on these because I noticed there's some things that are different from how I write now. These were originally released in 2022. And I've changed over the years. I added tutorial links to all my videos that you would need for these. And I think I rewrote a little bit of, this is a 4-size sock pattern. I rewrote a little bit of 2 of the sizes just because it might have been confusing for people that aren't like super proficient knitters. If they're newer knitters, it might have been confusing. So I rewrote a little section to make it less confusing, hopefully. But yeah, this was Legacy Fiber Arts glass ceiling. I had knit a pair of socks for my daughter in these earlier this year in this colorway, and it was a sock set. And I had just enough of the contrast to do the toes and the little pops of color at the cuff, and enough of the main color left to do the shorty sock. So these ones are for me. Yeah, so those are nice. Another pair of shorties for the season. I wear a lot of shorties this time of year because if I'm wearing shoes, I'm wearing hand knit socks. So. All right, last finished object. My husband said he did not want to come up for the podcast this time. Sorry, guys, you don't get an in-person model. But it's his sweater, Bibliophile 3 by Alicia Plummer. I finished it up. washed it, blocked it, added a little tag that I buy from my local yarn shop, Yarn Bar. This one is, you can't buy this, is what it says. So you can see the back. There's that one sleeve where you can see I didn't alternate, but the second sleeve I did alternate, and it's a lot better blended. But like, again, in real life, you don't see that transition nearly as much, so it's not that big of a deal. All washed, all blocked. He loves it. My daughter even tried it on. I think it was even before I got it washed. The day I finished it, she came home and she tried it on because she was like, oh, that's pretty. She put it on and she loved it because it's super oversized and like, and then she's like, and she loved the yarn and she was like, I want it. So this yarn was, did I bring up the leftovers? I did. So this yarn was Ranching Fiber Tradition, and it is Tobacco Root Valley, which is a DK. 100% Targhee wool, Montana raised and processed, and the colorway is fur. I had one full skein. I had 7, I think, total. And out of 2 other skeins, I had this much left plus 1 full skein. So I didn't, my skeins were quite heavy, so technically I used over 6 skeins. But these skeins were all like well over 100 grams, so. But yeah, I will try to put a picture up here of him wearing it because I got a couple shots, or maybe a whole screen, who knows. I'll try to get a picture of him because he looks very good in his sweaters. He's very dapper. And it actually snowed the day that this was dry, and so he got to wear it that day because it got quite cold. That was last week. So the pictures are in snow. I didn't say at the top, if there's any new viewers, I live in Montana and we have snow into May, even June sometimes. In the mountains, we get snow longer. I'm about an hour or so away from the mountains, so I don't get snow quite as often as up in the mountains. I need to pause to go blow my nose. Just a second. So that's all the finished objects. It's pretty good. I also finished another design sock that I was working on, so but I'll show that when it's closer to release day. All right. So yeah, that's pretty good, pretty big finished objects. I'm very pleased and happy about that. Now I'm going to talk about my works in progress. I only actually have 2 that I'm really working on. I haven't been working on my blankets very much. Every once in a great while, I'll pick one up and work just a tiny bit. But I'm not making a lot of progress, so I'm not going to show you guys it if I don't make a lot of progress. But I decided to cast on, actually, shortly before I finished my husband's sweater, I cast this on. It is going to be a summer t-shirt. I'm just kind of self-drafting a pattern. I had all this yarn in stash. So I had 2 balls of this color, and then I have 1 each of these. And this is Hempathy, Elizabeth Levold Hempathy that I got from my LYS, the Yarn Bar, a few years back. And I bought them all together thinking, oh, I'll make a stripy tee or color block tee or something. And originally I was thinking I would do the stripes up on the yoke and then do this on the body. But since I don't know how, I want to make every yarn go as far as it can, figured I'd start with the 2 balls that I had up on the body because that's where you make increases because it's a raglan shape. And then hopefully I can get through, I don't know if I have enough left to get through the rest of the raglan increases that I'm planning on. We'll see. And then I'll switch to the other colors for the rest of the body. And we'll just see how it goes. This is just me playing and seeing how much yarn it will take. So Hempathy is 100% plant-based. It is cotton, hemp, and modal blend. And it technically is a sport to DK weight. On Ravelry, they say DK. Here it says number 2, which would be sport. I'd say it's more of a sport weight. It's about 152 yards per 50 grams. Yeah, so I'm just playing. And this is a bag I got years ago from the yarn bar from Brooklyn Haberdashery. They carried these for a little while. They don't anymore, but I love it. It's just a nice little bucket bag. All right, next whip. I just cast these on, I think, yesterday. I've gotten a lot of work on them because that's all I've really wanted to work on. Is some scrappy socks with self-striping yarn. And so there is a knitter on Instagram, Everything Shapes Us. I'll try to link it down below with the project. She's got a easy peasy scrappy sock cal 25 going on Instagram. And so it's essentially, it started in the middle of April and it goes through the end of May, and it's just knit a pair of scrappy socks. It doesn't have to be self-striping, it can be anything. Scrappy socks, it has to have so many different yarns in it. I know that much. I can't remember how many it is. She has the details listed on her page on Ravelry or on Instagram. But yeah, so right now I started with the same yarn for the toes on these. I'm doing it toe up. And this was a Kirby Werby yarn. It was a Schitt's Creek colorway, like Fold in the Cheese or something. So the toes had the same yarn, but not the same stripes because I just did the toes. And then now I'm knitting, I've done 2 different colorways of Knit Picks Fleechy for the foot so far. And I'm on the second colorway on this foot because I'm using lots of different types of sock yarn. So I'm trying to keep it accurate to the types for at least within the foot range. And then I think I might go into, once I'm done with this one, I won't be quite long enough for where I need my heel. I'm just going to do Afterthought heels. This is some leftover Wednesday colorway. I don't know which one from Freckled Whimsy. I might put that in both of them for where the heel's going to be, and it will, where the heel will be, will split that area. And then, you know, I have some more scraps in the bottom of this that are a different, like, they're all, a lot of them are Area 51, but there are some pie sock yarn that are a bit heavier. It's the 80-20 type of sock yarn, so it's just, you get less yardage for weight. So they're just a little plumper. I'm going to do those up towards the leg. And my daughter wanted tall socks. But I'm knitting them both at the same time, tandemly, on separate needles. But yeah, I'm just doing toe up, 3x1. I will cut in an Afterthought heel, and it will probably also be scrappy striping sock yarn. I might have the same yarn for the heels. I might not, haven't decided yet. But yeah, right now I'm just enjoying. It's really fun. Self-striping socks are fun anyways, but then when you make them scrappy and they're not matching, it's even more fun. So yeah, so those are my 2 whips right now. And that's all the knitting content. Wow. I do have, I will talk about, I don't have any yarny acquisitions, but I do have some records that I'll show you because it was record store day, not this last Saturday, but the Saturday before. I have lots of reading to talk about, a little bit of watching and life stuff if you guys want to stick around for all that. I'm trying to, because I'm not feeling the best, I'm rolling through it pretty quickly. But yeah. Local record store day was earlier this year. A lot of times it's on the same day as like local yarn store day and Seaman Street. And well, now it might be great. and local bookstore day. But this year it was I don't remember what date it was. It was the Saturday before Easter. So it was 2 Saturdays ago. And my husband and I went down there to our local record store, which is Cameron Records. We did not go early enough to, I mean, they still did have some of the special stuff, but we weren't like looking for the special stuff. And we got a wide range of albums. We've listened to all of them. We still haven't put sleeves on them. We usually put like a plastic sleeve. But this is the first one I got. It's not a, I think it's just a random recordings of Otis. It's not like one of his actual albums, but I saw Otis and I was like, oh, I love Otis. And my husband didn't realize how much Otis he knew. But he knows a lot of Otis Redding as well. He just didn't realize it was Otis. But this is just a smattering of some of his songs. And I enjoyed it a lot. It's not, I usually don't try to buy like records that are like a greatest hits or just like a smattering of songs, because I want the actual albums, but that one had a lot of good songs on it, so I decided to get it. And then another one that I got that I have been looking for a while is a jazz album, Thelonious Monk. This one is Genius of Modern Music Volume 1, Blue Note. I have been wanting this album for a long time. It's very good. I think it's one of his best albums. Thelonious is a piano player. But yeah, it's very, very, very good album. I like jazz. I'm building up my jazz. And then I wanted to get a few albums for the kids, and you know, my husband and I like it too. I'll cover up the nudity, but I got Nirvana. Never mind. We have this on CD, but we don't listen to our CDs very much anymore. We mostly listen to our records because our stereo that has a CD player is in the basement, and our record player is in our main great room that has like the kitchen, dining room, and living room all together in it. And so, yeah, never mind. Great album. And then my kids and I, more than my husband doesn't mind it, but like the Killers. I got Sam's Town, great album by the Killers. Yeah, so the other thing, when you don't put them in the thing, you can open them up and see all the fun stuff. And then my husband picked out one record that he wanted. He likes Soundgarden, so he picked out a Soundgarden. This one is Down on the Upside. And I'm not a huge Soundgarden fan, but it's not too bad. My husband loves lots of different types of music, but we are different on musical likes and dislikes. And then I'll just talk about this one because it came from the Easter Bunny. And that was Led Zeppelin 4. One of their best albums, in my opinion, in most people's opinion. The Easter Bunny brought my husband and I an album, so that was nice. That's all the acquisitions. Like I said, I usually try to do local record store day, local yarn store day, local bookstore day, which those other two are coming up. Reading. I have finished 3 books since last time. I mean, 2 of them were really close to being done. Actually, all 3 of them are close to being done. So I finally finished All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I'm not sure even when I started reading this, but I had put it down when the 4th Wing book came out at the beginning of the year. And so I put that down to read that, and then picked this back up, and it just was a slow read for me. I did enjoy it the further I got into it, but it still was, the way he writes and stuff bothered me. So the overall story, I would give like at least 4 stars, but the way he wrote bothered me, so I gave him 3 stars. But I did like the book, like the story. It is very much a lifetime type story. It starts as like kids and goes all the way up into adulthood for some people and what happens. So it's technically a thriller crime novel. And then I was listening to this, and then I finished reading it because I had the actual hard copy from my Libby app. This is the second book in the Broken Earth series by Broken Earth series by N.K. Jemison, The Obelisk Gate. I really enjoyed, the first book is the 5th season. I really enjoyed that one. It took me a while to get into it, but once I did, I enjoyed it a lot. This one I enjoyed as well. I like the first book a little bit better, but this one's just as good. Continues right on with the story. And now there's one more book in the series, The Stone Sky. I haven't purchased that book yet, but I will. Yeah, and then I also finished listening to on the Libby app. It took me a few times to renew it, to get through it, but Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. I just finished that one up yesterday. Enjoyed that a lot. I do like the T.J. Klune books. They all have the same vibe to them of mature men that end up falling in love towards the end or within the story, but it's set in a very fantasy fictionally setting. So this is the second book from T.J. Klune that I've read. I've read The House on the Cerulean Sea, and then I've read Under the Whispering Door, and then there's another one that I want to read. I can't remember the name of it, but I have it on my list. I have my Goodreads listed down below, so if you want to see what I've read or what I'm reading, I do rank the books. I generally don't put reviews unless I have strong feelings one way or the other. Then I'll put a review. Then I did check out another book from my Libby app because I was ready. It is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Just started listening to it yesterday during soccer practice. Didn't get very far. No, I don't even think I'm finished the first chapter yet. So like 3%, 4% in, not very far. And then I started reading The Martian by Andy Weir because my son loves all the Andy Weir books. And I decided to read them in release date order. So the first one he came out with was Martian, and that one has turned into a movie. I know the movie, seen it a few times. So now I'm reading the book. I feel like it's going to be a pretty quick read. It's my nighttime reading, but it's very easy read. So I can get through a lot of it a lot quicker than the hard to digest ones, I guess. So yeah, those are the 2 books I'm reading right now. Like I said, I want to read the 3rd Broken Earth book, but I need to pick that one up. I'll see if they have it at the bookstore this weekend. Watching, my husband and I started watching Good Omens together. Once we finished Game of Thrones, we needed something else to watch. We tried to watch Good Omens years ago when it first came out and only got a couple of shows in and put it down and started watching something else. So we're back at it. And I don't know if we're past the point that we were the first time or not yet. But yeah, we're watching that. I started watching Handmaid Tale again. I started it years ago as well, shortly after it came out, and I didn't continue on with it. I didn't even get through the first season all the way. Now I'm through the first season into the second season. It hits a little too close to home for everything that's going on in the world right now. So it's a hard watch right now. And then we went to the Minecraft movie last weekend with my daughter and one of her friends because it was her birthday and that's what she wanted to do. And I did not enjoy that. My kids played Minecraft. My husband plays Minecraft. They enjoyed it way more than I did. We also had a group of rowdy middle school boys that were loud, clapping, cheering, yelling, singing songs. And then at the end, one of them threw a popcorn bucket, because that's what you do in the theater apparently with this movie. And he hit a kid, and the dad, kid or baby, because he had a small kid, and then they also had a baby in a stroller, hit one of his kids. And the dad like blew up at him, and which is rightfully so. I wish somebody would have blown up at him way earlier, but I'm just a little bit too kind. It has to, I mean, if they would have hit us, I would have blown up. But yeah, that made it way less fun of a movie experience because of those kids. And hopefully they learned a lesson. I don't know. I doubt it, but hopefully they did. And then let's see, life stuff. So yeah, my dad visited. He and his wife go to Arizona every year in the winter, and then they were coming back up. He lives in South Dakota, and decided to swing through Montana. On the day they decided to drive up, it happened to be snowy, so they drove through a lot of snow coming up, because they're coming up through like Utah, and then they came over through Wyoming, because they decided to skip the eastern part of Montana, to skip the pass there, which is probably a good idea, because they got even more snow than we did, and came up through like Cody, Wyoming and up, and still got a lot of snow that they were going through, but made it all right. I mean, he drives a truck and stuff, and but they were having 100-degree weather shortly before they left, so he was like happy to be in the snow. And then my daughter had her birthday, so they were able to be here for her birthday and then Easter, and then they left on Monday this last week. The kids had soccer both last Saturday and the Saturday before. My daughter's been reffing a lot of games. She's had like 4 or 5 games a weekend lately, which is a lot, but it's good because she's earning some money with that. Son enjoys playing soccer. What else? Yes, we had snow last Thursday. The weather's been up and down. Like we were in the 75 2 days before we got snow. And then we had about, here where we are, we had maybe 6-7 inches total up in the Heights, which is a different part of Billings. They had like 9 inches, I think. It didn't stick around. It was melted by, most of it was melted off the ground by Friday afternoon. So, and then what else? I already talked about record store day. My daughter is part of tech crew in the musical, and that is starting this week. Their shows start Thursday. They have a Thursday show, Friday show, and 2 Saturday shows. I think we're going Saturday, and they're doing Sound of Music. So she's been very, very busy with rehearsals at nights. Stays up really late trying to get work done, plus rehearsals. She's trying to not get sick from what everybody else has. So hopefully she can hold it off with the adrenaline of everything, and then she'll probably crash after the show's done. And then this Saturday is also local yarn store day and bookstore day. So I'm enjoying to go downtown, our LYS and bookstore down there. So it's the Yarn Bar and then this House of Books are collaborating with some of the fun events for the day for some giveaways and stuff. And they'll have a little like walking path because it's like a block away from each other. So that'll be fun. We're going to go, I'm going to go, and I'm going to see if the boys want to come with me. My daughter will be busy with musical stuff, which probably bums her out because she likes to get yarn and books too. But yeah, so I encourage you all go to your local yarn store, local bookstore. If you don't have either of those, try to see if you can find a local yarn store that you can order from online. Support the businesses. We got to keep them going strong so they stay around. I think that's about everything. Again, this sock pattern will be released by the time you guys see this. The orb socks. There will be a coupon code. It will be down below. I will have the dates that it's good for as well, because I know not everybody watches the podcast right away. So I will have the exact dates that it's good for. I think that's everything. I hope this cold doesn't like kick my butt like the last one I had. Here's hoping. Wish me luck, but that's why I recorded earlier, because I'm not feeling as bad yet. And I might feel worse tomorrow and then worse the next day. So we'll see. All right. Well, you guys have a good 2 weeks. I hope you had a good 2 weeks, and I will see you again soon.